In today's video, we're going to talk about the weighted scoring decision matrix, when to use it, and how to create a weighted scoring model. What's up everybody, Helena here from airfocus, the product management tool that enables you to confidently prioritize what to work on next, build and share clear roadmaps, and collaborate on strategy. This is our second episode in our video series on prioritization frameworks, so if you haven't seen the first one yet on rice scoring, you can check that out by clicking on the link in the description box below. Now let's get into today's topic, which is weighted scoring. There are two main types of decision matrices, weighted and unweighted. The weighted decision matrix assumes all criteria have the same importance, while the weighted one applies different weights. The weighted scoring decision matrix is a powerful quantitative technique. It evaluates a set of choices, such as ideas or projects, against a set of criteria you need to take into account. To make things a little bit easier, let's use a simpler example: weighted scoring of tests. A teacher will place more importance on the essay portion of an exam than in a multiple choice section. So let's say that there's an essay part of the exam that accounts for 40% of the final score, while the remaining 9 multiple choice questions account for the remaining 60%. Similar to that example, a company might want to assign different weights to projects that have bigger business value or will greatly impact the user experience. Now that we have a basic understanding of what weighted scoring is, let's dive into when you should use a weighted scoring decision matrix and how. The weighted decision matrix is particularly useful specifically when you have multiple features, projects, and campaigns to work on, or many decision criteria to consider with varying or similar levels of importance. By extensively evaluating your choices and quantifying the process, you'll be able to greatly reduce and in many cases remove emotion and guesswork from the decision process. Next, let's talk about how you can create a weighted scoring decision matrix. Start by listing out all of the decision choices in rows. Don't forget any relevant choices, since these rows will form the foundation of your decision matrix. For an example, let's use a video conference app. Our decision choices are creating a Google Calendar integration, a new onboarding flow, and a Slack bot. Now that we've listed our choices, let's determine the influencing criteria. Go ahead and brainstorm what criteria will affect those decisions. This could be things like strategic fit, revenue increase, costs, project hours, and risk of failure, for example. Sometimes deciding whether to add some criteria can be a bit of a trade-off. Having fewer criteria makes the prioritization process easier and less time-consuming, while leaving some criteria out makes your model completely blind for some type of impact. In our example, we'll use the following 3 criteria: business value, costs, and risk, and we're going to list them as columns. Now that you've listed your choices in the influencing criteria, we can move on to weighting the criteria. Establish a clear and consistent rating scale for each one. For example, we can use the 1 to 5 scale. For our example, we're rating the business value criteria a 5, costs will be rated as a 2, and risk will be rated as a 3. Similarly to how the essay accounted for a higher percentage of the test in our first example, we're placing much more value in the business value of our ideas than in the cost or the risk. We can now move on to rating each choice or project for each criteria. While using a defined rating system, which in our case is 1 through 5, rate each criteria individually. For example, if you think your mobile app has tremendous business value, give it a 5. Keep in mind, the values for each choice don't need to be different. For each of these values, you have to make sure that the higher value represents more preferable option. For example, a high ROI should lead to a high business value score because a great ROI is beneficial to your business. On the flip side, high development costs should result in a low cost value because high costs are negative. Now that we have the criteria and the ratings for each project, we can calculate the weighted scores. Multiply each of the choice ratings by their corresponding weight and then sum up each of the choices and compare the total scores. You can now prioritize the ideas and projects that have the highest scores. In our example, the total score clearly favors the Google Calendar integration, so that is the option we'll prioritize. And there you have it, a step-by-step guide for how to create a weighted decision matrix. If you don't want to create a decision matrix from scratch, feel free to try airfocus. Airfocus allows you to combine different value types such as currencies or project hours. And what's more, it enables you to visually map out your priorities on a chart and transform your priorities into an actionable roadmap at the click of a button. Also, if you want to learn more about weighted scoring and other amazing prioritization frameworks, you can check out our ebook on mastering prioritization. The links to airfocus and the ebook are in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comment section and make sure to subscribe so that you can be notified of our new actionable guides and tutorials. And of course, until next time, happy planning!